Greetings. If you are watching this right now, you have enrolled in a history class at Mountain View College. My name is Dr. Ryan Pettengill, and I will be your instructor for this semester. What I hope to accomplish with this video is to familiarize you with the guidelines, expectations, and requirements for this class. And to that extent, we're going to be going through a lot of the syllabus here in the next few moments. So first things first, if you have not yet done so, it would be a good idea for you to go ahead and download a copy of the syllabus so that you can follow along with me. Now, if you haven't done any poking around in our Blackboard shell just thus far, I can show you exactly where to go to find it. First thing that you're going to want to do is click on the Start Here button, right? And then you're going to come over here. The first thing that pops up at you is the course syllabus button. Go ahead and download that. I'm not going to download that, but this is as simple as downloading a Word doc file. And of course, you can put me on pause if you need to. Come back when you're ready. If you're looking at the top of that syllabus, you'll find all the ways that you can get a hold of me. Probably the easiest way, the most effective way to get a hold of me is through email. That email address is checked regularly throughout the day, and if you get me a message Monday through Thursday before about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a good chance that I will respond on the same day. If it's after 3 or on the weekends, it'll be a little bit slower, but I'd like to think that I'm approachable at virtually any time throughout the course of the semester. This is History 1301, as you can see behind me. And what that means is this is early American history, and we will be starting before European contacts. We'll be talking about the history of the North American continent before people of European ancestry began showing up. We will go through the 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries, exploring all kinds of different themes, issues, topics, and concepts, and we will end in 1877. This is a class that is designed to instruct you in the discipline of history. And so there are things that we will be doing that will be really important to that end. But more than anything else, I think what you're going to find in a course like this is that we will work on other skills that not only lend themselves to other classes, things like writing and critical thinking, but various other aspects that would make you a marketable person, a marketable worker in a 21st century workforce. So that's what I'm hopeful that you get out of this class. And if you want to know more about that, then certainly pages 1 and 2 of the syllabus will familiarize you with it. For right now, I want to go through your reading list and the required books. The first book that you need, and you need it very, very quickly, is a book by Frederick Douglass entitled My Bondage and My Freedom. You can buy this from our bookstore. You can rent it. You could go to any bookstore throughout the community and you could probably find it for pretty cheap. It's a very widely read book and it's very commonly sold at many different places. Get a copy of that, start reading it, and start reading it right now. You'll see why here in just a second. The next book that you're going to need is a document reader. It's not a textbook, but it is a document reader, and it's called Sources for America's History. It's green, it's got a photograph of a pioneer family with a covered wagon in the background. It's edited by a guy named Kevin Sheets. You need that book very, very quickly as well. The last required book that you have to have is a book by Paul E. Johnson called Sam Patch, the Famous Jumper. Those are the required texts. If you want another optional text, and this is completely optional, it's a textbook, I put it in the bookstore for your purchase if you'd like. It's called America's History. Again, it's not required. It's more or less a resource if you're not a really great history student, or you don't think that you're a really great history student, you want one last backup to study or to kind of help you get through the class, then this is a good way of doing it, okay? Now, the next thing that I'd like to do is I would like to show you how you might be able to save a little bit of money when it comes to the books. I want you to go to this button right here, Course Information. And when that comes up, you're going to see a folder entitled Online Texts, right? Open up that folder, Online Texts, and right there you'll see that I've given you both Frederick Douglass and Sam Patch. Now, as long as you don't mind reading it in some sort of online fashion, that's fine, but I'm hopeful that this helps you get up and running in this class sooner rather than later. Sources for America's History is a little bit different story, and I can't help you very much there, but 2 books are better than none. Okay, so those are the required readings, and if you have any questions about that, just please feel free to let me know. The next thing that I want to talk about with you is going to be right there on page 3 of the syllabus, and that is going to be your weekly breakdown of what's due, what you need to read, and most importantly of all, when you need to have this work done by. Okay? The course outline is going to be our Bible for the next few weeks. And it is going to be your one-stop shop to know what you have to do and when it needs to be done by. Okay? If you look at week 1, you'll see all the assignments that I have for you, and you'll also see the chapters that you're responsible for the reading, as well as what you need to read with Frederick Douglass. There are also video lectures that I will have you watch on a weekly basis. And to find those video lectures, you're going to come over here to Content, click on Content, right? And then up at the top, you're going to see a folder entitled Video Lectures. You click it, and it'll take you to the units 1, 2, and 3. And so the very first one that you need to watch is this one here called Empires of North America, okay? If you want the accompanying PowerPoint presentation for that, just go back to Content, and right here are the PowerPoint presentations, and as you see 1, 2, and 3 as well. Open up the Unit 1 folder, and right there is the file to the PowerPoint, and you can follow along right there with my lecture. Okay? Again, any questions on that, feel free to contact me, but I can't say enough how important it is to keep up with these video lectures, because a lot of the class, both exams as well as papers, are going to be based on how familiar you are with these video lectures. Okay. The next thing I'd like to talk about is how the class breaks down as far as a grading perspective. So if you want to flip to page 4 and the beginning of page 5, that's got a pretty good synopsis as far as that goes. A very good portion of the class is based on what we call participation. Now, this is an online class, and you might be asking yourself, how do I participate in this fashion? And the answer is pretty simple. You do this through discussion forums. So come over here and click on the discussion forum button, okay? And what you're going to find from there are discussion forums 1 through 5. Now, at least once per week, you're going to have one of these things that are due. It can be different in some weeks, but for example, you've got discussion forum 1 that I need you to complete by the end of this week. So to do that, you're going to click on discussion forum 1, right? And you want to create a thread. As you can see, nobody's chimed in on this yet. And you're going to want to create a thread. See this button that I'm mousing over right here? That's what you want to do. You want to create a thread. Now, I'm hopeful, as you can kind of see through some of the questions, that at some point in the semester you'll reach out, you'll have a conversation, you'll reply to one of your classmates, because that's really an important part of participation in a class like history, okay? So 15 percentage points of your cumulative grade are going to be based on you completing the discussion forums. And to be very clear here, I keep a pretty open mind as far as what counts as participation. Basically, as long as you read what I ask you to read, and as long as you take the central question pretty seriously, there's not going to be a problem at all of you getting full credit for those discussion forum points. Okay? The next thing I want you to point out would be the quizzes. So we're going to click on the quiz button of Blackboard, and you will see that there are 6 quizzes that have been preloaded in this shell for you. Quiz 1 is due this week, and to complete it, you're going to click on Quiz 1. Now, this is an important question for Quiz 1 because I'll come back to it again and again throughout the semester. America, the Great Exception. Are we, as a civilization, an exception to some of those other great civilizations that have come before us? Great Britain, for example, ancient China, ancient Rome. Are we different? If we are, how so? What sets us apart? Or you can maybe answer this that we're simply the flavor of the month and we're really not that exceptional. It doesn't really matter to me how you answer it as long as you tell me what you think and why you think it, okay? So each one of these quizzes are going to be worth 3 percentage points of your cumulative grade. Now, this is the tricky part. I give you 6 quizzes, but you're only responsible for 5. Okay, so if you do all 6 of them and you score 3 out of 3 on each quiz, it's possible to earn 3 points of extra credit. I really do like to think that the ball being in your court when it comes to this class, so please complete the quizzes as per the course outline in the syllabus. Now, I'm not going to lie, the lifting will get progressively heavier here. The papers are more difficult than either the quizzes or the participation, okay? But if you want to know what I'm going to ask you for either paper 1 or paper 2, you can go into the paper assignments button right here, as I just did, and you can download the guidelines, which does have the central question in it as well. Now, these guidelines are going to explain to you how I want your paper to be formatted, and of course, I'll be a little bit more forthcoming when those dates begin to approach. For the time being, though, guys, you will submit your paper right here by clicking on paper 1 and then uploading a file of your paper. To help you break down the central question, you can see that I've uploaded a few video links that will take you to YouTube. Not only will this help you think about what questions that we have in each paper, but they will also help you to kind of break down the readings, both Frederick Douglass and Sam Patch. Part of the reason that I said that Douglass was the most important book to get right now is because a very big portion of paper 1 is going to be based on your understanding of Frederick Douglass. These resources here will help you break down that reading, okay? 2 papers, each are going to be worth 10 percentage points of your cumulative score. The next portion would be the exams, and if you click on the exams button, we can go there. You don't see anything there right now, but as both the midterm as well as the final exam approach, you will see those things go live in Blackboard, and you'll click on the exams button to get there. For right now, you see 2 things for each exam. You see a review guide. This is a Word doc. You can go ahead and download that if you wanted to. Same thing goes for the final exam. You also see a review discussion. Now, again, this is a link to YouTube that will help you really begin to think about the essay portion of the exam. This is another resource designed to help you do well in the class. Both the midterm exam as well as the final are worth a cumulative 25 percentage points of your final score. So that is the breakdown of the evaluation process in a nutshell. Once again, if you do have any questions as far as this goes, please don't hesitate to let me know. If you're looking at the middle of page 5, you'll see my grading scale. Please note that I do not grade on a curve, but I also give students the grade that I feel that they have genuinely earned throughout the course of the semester, okay? There's a few tidbits about late work policies for this class. The bottom line is this. Discussion forums and quizzes, there is no makeup policy. If you miss those dates, unless you've got a really, really good excuse, it's just going to simply turn into a 0. There is a policy for late papers, but sooner is better than later if it comes to an issue that you know would be problematic. You're going to have something in your personal life or maybe another class that could interfere with your ability to turn something in. The sooner I know about it, the more options that I have, okay? There's a few other issues that I'd like you to familiarize yourself both in pages 5 and 6, but I'm going to allow you to do that on your own time. The one thing that I want to underscore before we go ahead and get into the actual course content would be academic honesty, maybe better put academic dishonesty, okay? I take plagiarism very, very serious in this class, and if a student is caught plagiarizing any assignment, that student will fail at the very least the assignment, and if it's serious enough, the whole entire course, okay? So please try to avoid this at all costs. Now just make sure that we're all on the same page, and I know that you know what constitutes plagiarism. I want to incentivize this for you. So if you click on the course information button of Blackboard, you will see that I have a link, Recognize Plagiarism, and if you click it, it'll take you to Indiana University's Writing Center, okay? Some of you may be familiar with this assignment, some of you may have completed it for another class, but it's a 10-question quiz that will help you. Those questions are designed to help you understand plagiarism and, more importantly, how to avoid it. At the end of that quiz, it'll ask you, would you like to print out your certificate? Click yes, or take a screenshot of it. You can take a picture of the computer screen. You just need a file so that you can upload it in Blackboard. Once you get that file, click on this Recognize Plagiarism assignment here at the bottom where it says upload a copy of your certificate here. Go ahead and do that, and if you do it by the end of this academic week, I'll give you 1 point of extra credit, okay? Doesn't sound like much, but this class is only based on a 100 cumulative point scale. 1 percentage point will absolutely help your grade move in the direction that you want it to go. That's it. That's all. That's everything with respect to how the class is organized. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you and working with each of you in this semester. I'm very hopeful that it's a productive semester. I'm hopeful that you enjoy the class and you get out of it everything that you're hopeful that you want out of it, including a grade that you're deeply satisfied with. That's it for now. As always, if you have any questions, you know how to find me. It's been good talking to you, and I'll see you later.